Okay, so for the other video, if you don't know, is this one also a? Yeah, okay, it's another Fight Club from 2017. Wow, that's a pretty high DPI. Or not DPI, but sensitivity. I have mine like a third that. So, I mean, if that works for you, it's generally better to try to play with low sensitivity on a big mat, though. It helps with uh, aiming precise shots. So, don't like it doesn't make a huge difference, but you really don't want to use your jump jets when you don't need them. So you didn't really need it there, unless you were trying to check that high ground that's right across from you right now. But you could do that from the low ground too. You really want to kind of keep that jump jet for when you turn this corner or when you come around this corner in case they have a high ground hit scan up there. You can jump and boop them off into your team. They don't, so you're lucky. But um, you have dive tanks. There's going bottom kind of deletes the purpose of dive, or like because you have a very dive team right now. You really want to take either the main approach or the far left, so you can use that vertical movement that you have. So you are wasting a ton of time back here. What are you doing? So your team's already fighting. Are you trying to like peel back for the Winston? Um, that's not what you should be doing, really. That should be the Diva's job. So, so this is kind of like what I'm talking about, where it's not good to try to run. Oh, and you have a widow too. Try to run like this bottom left thing here with the tanks and the DPS that you have. You have why is widow one way over there? That's really weird. Two, you have a bunch of ranged DPS and then dive tanks. So the best place for you to take is either going to be this entrance that you took as a team. You should take this way, or the far left. And your goal should be to try to set widow up on this high ground while you take a higher approach than that and pump damage into wherever they're least mobile, wherever your dive target is, so that when your dive actually comes in onto that target, which they need vertical ability to do that, so that's either going to be from your entrance here or that far left entrance there. They're already softened up, so they can get that kill easily. So like your target on this comp here should be that soldier. So whatever way you decide to approach, you need to communicate to your tanks that soldier should be the target there. Because once you take that soldier down, nothing left on their team can really do anything to you. So you should stop. Oh, no, never mind. You guys are coming through with kills on the point. That was kind of weird. Their respawn should already be back by now, though. All right, so again, you're not really focusing anything here. You're just kind of like shooting shots at whatever red you see. Um, if we take that back just a little bit, uh, my target here would have been that Winston that just jumped up on that high ground because his mobility is on cooldown now. He has no way to escape you. The only thing he can maybe do is if he has ult already, which he shouldn't at this point in the fight. If your team, like your diva wherever she is, can peel with you up there, that Winston's dead within about 2 seconds. Yeah, don't really want you to focus Tracer though. That was good where you just kind of flicked a shot at her just as a note. Like that was fine, the flicking the shot at her. So you guys lost that for two reasons. One, for playing a very dive setup. You guys are kind of a weird spot. You should be up on yeah, yeah. You should probably be back here, either further back from that side or behind the payload if you're going to do this. Only because you want the ability to move around. When you're up close like that, the enemy is able to walk on the point, and then if you have your tanks use any mobility skills, they could just use because they're mirroring your comp with the tanks at least. use the exact same mobility skills to chase you. So play a little bit further back so you can actually pick a target. Your Zenyatta especially should be playing further back. There is no reason that he should be in the front line there. He needs to be probably on this high ground over where you are right now, with probably the Widow over there too, so that he can discord whatever tries to dive him, and then you can punish it. He might have actually been able to help you kill that Winston pretty quickly too, and him staying alive in that fight would have been crucial, because damage boost or damage, not damage boosted, but discorded Tracer is a one shot for Pharah. You guys should back up a little bit further because you see his Tracers trying to chase in. Oh, you have the Widow to protect you. Never mind. All right, now you guys are kind of going the approach you should have done in the first place. The problem with this now is their soldier has ult. Ooh, that was a dirty sleep. Managed to live somehow though. You're kind of screwed. Yeah, there's really not much for you to do at that point. Your team does get frags though, so that's solid. And you get rezzed. All right. So this fight's looking good, actually. Just keep shooting him. Like, I mean, he's ult charge. You don't have your ult right now, just shoot him. Like, yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to melt through. Oh, and he can't point good. He jumped too far out. It's gonna be hard to kill him, but you get a ton of ult charge off him when he's discorded in enraged mode. So this is good. You guys are pushing up. Leaving should be Zen on cart. The rest of your team kind of pushes up here. All right, they have a Widowmaker, so yeah, good. Play the ankles there. Let your Widow take the duel. Oh man, Widow's popping off. Oh no. All right, well, your Widow continues to pop off. So take your time on that shot. Like you started to, and then you still missed it. Take a little bit longer. Maybe lower your sensitivity, so you can make that shot a little bit more consistently. A good rule of thumb is whatever your playmat is, uh, if you start your mouse in the middle and push it all the way to the edge, you should make about a 1 to 1.5 rotation on your character. Nice. Yeah, you got to work on that aim, man. That was pretty rough. Winston's a pretty easy target to hit, especially after he uses jump. So you go around this left side, scout it out. Don't commit right now, just scout. So you got to be aware of the angle right now, because you like didn't. Yeah. So uh, you jumping there was not a bad thing. You got space from the tracer, but you should have jumped back. Instead, you jumped forward and opened up the sight line for that McCree to get shots on you, the D.Va to notice you, and the whole team to start focusing you. So you went down. Uh, Seems to be doing okay though, because your Widow decided to channel his inner Kellex here and is just wrecking the entire team. So this actually would not have been a bad time to barrage. That would have been a pretty solid time to barrage because you would have been able to get that kill faster, and you probably would have gotten the Winston too. Because right now all they're trying to do is stall. And judging from how much time's left in the video, they don't manage to succeed. But you would have already finished this if you had barraged a little bit earlier. Like you still end up doing the same concept. But if you'd been able to do that against the D.Va, insta kill the baby D.Va, and wipe out the Winston with that damage, because that damage output's enormous on the barrage. So your Widow kind of bailed you out hard here. The Widow played lights out and pretty much took out the entire enemy team almost every fight. So you're kind of bailed out there. For the very first attack was probably the part with the biggest learning opportunities. You don't want to play into chokes as dive. You want to play the areas where you can move and use that mobility. You taking these small, like letting your D.Va and your Winston take that small area is a bad idea, especially because Junkrat's popular in Numbani too, and that would have wrecked that. You saw how that soldier was set up on that high ground there, and it just punished these dive tanks walking on. When you guys actually went that main approach, you easily took it. Yeah, you got slept, which is just unfortunate. That was just a really good shot from their Ana. Not much you could do about that. But you guys ended up taking the point because you were able to take advantage of the fact that the enemy was running a split defense on the two different high grounds, and they were able to isolate enough of the enemy team for the Widow to start getting enough openings to land shots. So you pretty much always as dive either want to take that main approach or take that far left, so you have the ability to use your mobility skills. Um, Throughout the rest of the fight, it just accuracy was kind of a big issue. I didn't really see positioning issues until that third point, but you missed a lot of shots on targets you should have been able to hit, especially Winston. Winston's a very easy target to hit for Farah. Especially after his jump is on cooldown or while he's falling in the air, he's got a very predictable movement pattern. Um, and then the last bit was just keeping aware of sightlines. Like, yeah, you were focused on the duel with Tracer, but you got to think if you're in the air, the Tracer's called you out, you're very visible. You don't want to be giving free sightlines to their hit scan that they just swap to counter you. So you want to kind of like peel back behind that corner, play the corner a little bit more. Otherwise, it was okay. Can't really say too much about the fair gameplay just because the Widow kind of carried the team pretty hard there.